Hey friends, today I want to share a few Excel tricks that I recently discovered and honestly they blew my mind a little. Whether you are just starting out or you are already pretty advanced with Excel, I promise this will either teach you something new or give you a quick refresher on tools you may have forgotten about. So let's jump right in. Just practical Excel tips that you will actually use. Alright, let's kick off with something super simple but incredibly useful. Sorting data in Excel. Now usually when we want to sort our data, we click on the data tab and use the sorting options from here, or we apply filter and then use the sorting option from here. Instead of doing these two things, you can use a simple shortcut which is Alt ASA if you want to sort in ascending and Alt ASD if you want to sort in descending. Make sure you click inside the column you want to sort before pressing the shortcut. Perfect when you're cleaning data, ranking numbers or reordering names and just want to sort fast without clicking around. Second trick is auto filtering. Just watch my screen. I want to see the Bob data. Without adding any filters, I can still see only Bob. In Bob, suppose I want to see vendor only Zomato, I can come to the vendor column, I can see only Zomato. If I want to see only card, I can come to the payment method, keep my cursor on card, and I can see only card data. And you see the filters were applied automatically. And if I want to go back to the normal state, simple, I can use a shortcut and it's done. How I did it? You see this auto filter, how to add it? Just come here on the drop down, click on the more commands drop down, click on commands not in the ribbon and look for auto filter. Click auto filter and add it. It will come here. Mine is on 5th. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Yours might be on third, second or sixth, anything, but you need to remember the sequence. Mine is fifth and I'll say okay. Now, if I want to see only Bob, I can press Alt and you see when I press Alt, I get all the numberings and it is fifth. So I can just press 5. Again, if I want to see vendor Zomato, Alt 5. If I want to see only card, Alt 5. And if I want to go back to the normal state, use a shortcut, Ctrl Shift N. Super useful. Trick 3 is related to the date column issue. Whenever you copy data from some places, the date column gets messes up and gives you the numbers instead of date. How to fix it? Just select your data and use a shortcut Ctrl Shift 3 and your date column is back to the normal state. A very handy trick to use quickly. Trick 4. Quickly generate quarterly dates using array constants. Let's say I want to list out all the quarter start dates for 2025. Simple, what I can do is equal to date open bracket, year is 2025, comma, instead of giving 1 month, I'll use a curly bracket and give the list. I will give 1, semicolon 4, semicolon 7, semicolon 10. What are these 1, 4, 7, 10? Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4. Close the curly brackets, comma, day I want 1, close the bracket and enter. And you got all the quarter dates listed vertically. Suppose if you want horizontal, instead of semicolon, you will just change it with commas, enter. And you got it horizontal. Now this is if you are using 2019 and 365 Excel versions. But suppose if you are in older version, still you can get it. But here you need to first select the cells and then type equal to date, open bracket, year is 2025, comma, month, and I will give 1, 4, 7, 10, comma, day is 1, close the bracket. Now I'll not press enter, I'll press Ctrl Shift Enter and you will get it. Trick 5, let's learn about the newly introduced feature for pivot tables. I have this data converted into table by pressing Ctrl T and from this I got a pivot table. Now if you see the pivot table total, it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. Now suppose if I add few more data down, copy and paste, you can see that I need to come to data and click on refresh and then only it changes. But the newly introduced feature is when you come to pivot table analyze and click on auto refresh. Okay, now suppose if I add more data to it, let's first see the amount. It is 375093. Okay, and now if I add more data to it, I don't have to put a refresh, it will auto refresh for me. So that is, you go to pivot table analyze, it is generally active. If it is not, if it is grayed out, just click it and activate it. Very useful feature. Trick 6 is more of a reminder. When you have a pivot table and you want to format the numbers, usually you do a right click and click on format cells and do the formatting. Suppose if I took the currency and say okay, the problem is it is changing only to one cell. I want the format to all the cells. So when you do a right click, instead of doing on format cell, click on number format. And now when you do any formatting, it will be applicable to all the cells, including the grand total. Just a reminder. Trick 7 is about the distinct counts in pivot tables. I have this data, I'll convert quickly into table, I'll say OK, and I will give the name as data. Now, when I come here, go to insert, pivot table, data, OK, and now when I take employee in the row and employee count in the values, I get 50, but it is actually only 10. I need the unique. So what I can do, I can just come to the values, do a right click, view fields and text, and look for the distinct count, but that is not available here. So how to get it? Simple. What you will do is click on insert, pivot table, data, and now before clicking OK, click on add this to a data model. Now when you click on add this to a data model and say OK, now when I get my employees in the rows and employees in the values, you will see I still get 50, but then I get the option when I click on the count of employee and click on value field settings, I get an option called distinct count, and I'll say OK. Now I can get the distinct count as well, and I can use it for any other purposes. It's same, but it is more powerful. So always add your data to the data model. Trick 8 is about the control backspace. Suppose I'm using a formula here equal to VLOOKUP, open bracket, what is my lookup value? My lookup value is this, comma, what is my table array? I want to look this value in this whole table. So I'll say control shift right arrow and down arrow. Now I came down. Now if I need to go up, I need to use mouse and scroll up. Instead of doing that, you can use a shortcut, control backspace, and it will take you to your formula. Very useful when you have a lot of data and you don't have to scroll up with your mouse. Control backspace is the must used shortcut. Trick 9 is related to the XLOOKUP shortcut. Suppose I want to find the category for this employee ID. I'll use equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket, my lookup value is this, comma, what is my lookup array? The expense ID column, control shift down arrow, lock it with F4. What I want, the category, control shift down arrow, lock it with F4, comma, if not found, I'll say comma for now and move to next. I need a 0 match, I'll type 0, close bracket and enter. I got the category. Now I'll come here and do a double click. Now suppose if you have a huge number of data and you want to find the category for everyone, what easily you can do is, if you're using Excel 365, equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket, instead of selecting the lookup value only one, you select the entire range, control shift down arrow and lock it with F4. That's it. Now comma, again the same thing, lookup arrays expense ID, control shift down arrow, F4, lock it, comma, return arrays category, control shift down arrow, F4, lock it, comma, if not found, comma, move to next, you need a 0 match, click on 0, close bracket and enter. And see, it got auto-filled for the other employee IDs as well. Very useful if you have a huge number of data. If you like this tutorial, please do like, share and subscribe, and please comment. It will help me out.